Hi, so someone left this comment on my YouTube channel, or a video on my YouTube channel, and we're gonna pull some tarot about it. I am going to be like channeling and open to messages specifically for this person that left the comment, but I'm gonna try and keep it open to the collective, so that way if any of you feel like this resonates with you, it will be for you. You know, if it aligns with you, it will find you, and if it doesn't align, keep scrolling. It costs $0, mind your own business. I say it all the time. But I also like to keep my videos timeless, so even if I'm talking about a specific time period, if this finds you months later and it resonates, then take it. This spread took so long to get out. Like, I've been sitting here for probably about 10-15 minutes getting these cards out, but the all-around energy is that you are in a space of integration, like literally moving things that were from the past that you thought you left behind into the present, where you have freshly left things behind that were not meant for you, putting new lessons that you've just recently learned in the same baskets as old lessons that you've learned for a long time, and allowing them to work together for your betterment and for your future. At some point in the past, you got over a lot of big long-term hurt, something that really broke your heart, or like a collection of things that kept breaking your heart in the same way. And when you got over it, your way of getting over it was by being combative, defensive, without even meaning to, without even realizing. Like, you may be one of the nicest people in the world, but you may have still been defensive. You may have been defensive in a mature way, where you had really great discussions and like long conversations about how to move forward in a much healthier way, but you still kept that defensive nature about you. And that just recently started conflicting with the era that you're moving into, which is an era that's a lot softer and a lot more based off of feeling and intuition. But if you're constantly feeling anger and defensiveness, then you're not able to truly act on intuition, because anger plus intuition equals anxiety, equals fear, and then fear inflates anger. So that is like something that we're finally leaving behind to move into this next spot. Over the past little bit, and I relate to this heavily, I would say probably the past year, for me it's really highlighted over the last 6 months, but I would believe it if, you know, if I look back, I'm sure I could find it for the past year. But you have really been pushed to gain new perspectives on where you're headed in life, and like the destination that you are reaching, slash the goals that you're chasing, and how you're chasing them and why you're chasing them. And just recently, you may have transitioned into a space where you realize that you were holding on to entirely too much. Like, the goal is obviously like financial stability, peace in your financial stability, financial happiness, contentment, things like that, just all around peace and like feeling good, like you have financial freedom. Issue with this long-term goal of trying to reach these things is that you are looking too much based on instant gratification. What things and lessons and, you know, like knowledge could you acquire and lessons could you learn and things like that in a very short amount of time that assured you that you were headed toward your end goal, right? Like, oh, I just got promoted at this, like only after doing it for 6 months, and that's awesome. And that is awesome. Good job. Great job. But how sustainable is that long term? Like, how good is that for you and your ability to avoid burnout? Because burnout is not what we want. Burnout is like when you've succeeded too quickly, and I know succeeded too quickly, but succeeded too quickly without having a strong foundation laid. And that's what a lot that has happened, and it has caused burnout. So like, this is still the goal, this is still where you're headed, but all of this energy has been getting in the way here recently because you've been trying to have your cake and eat it too right now. And the thing about having financial peace, like, you can go ahead and acquire that right now in the moment, trusting that you are working towards something, even if it takes a long time, because things do take, like, good things come to those who wait. Good things also come to those who work toward what it is that they want. But you have to sometimes wait to get that gratification. Sometimes you have to wait to see the signs that you are moving in the right direction. Sometimes it's about learning everything that you possibly can from a moment in time, from a period, from an era, and like milking it and getting to put those lessons to practice right there in that moment. Because if you're only focused on learning lessons but never looking at putting them to practice, then you're not mastering that era in your life. So whenever it comes time for you to put that era in your life to practice in the future, when you have entered this King of Pentacles phase, then you're going to be stuck mastering those things at the same time as getting what it is that you've been working toward. And that can just become convoluted and like back things up way too much. You have started to exit this era where you have been pushing things along too far or too hard, and in doing that you have finally stopped juggling so much. You had to make a lot of decisions based off of, do I want this long-term goal to come true in the best way possible, or am I going to really push and fight to get certain things in the present that may conflict with that long-term goal in the long run? Because this energy here recently, we've got Mercury retrograde going on, we've got the solar eclipses and the lunar eclipses and all that fun stuff. And this energy here recently has really been pushing you to go back and see if there's anything that you've missed, to go back and see what things are left behind that you do not need to take into this next era. Like mine's been a lot of fear that has like fueled a lot of anger. That is the stuff that I have had to really go back and see what it is that I missed when learning that, because I used anger, like I said earlier, as a tool to keep myself motivated and keep going further, like away from the heartbreak that I left behind in the past. Learning these lessons with the decisions that you've made and the revisiting that you've had to do to see what you've missed, you finally have come to a place where it's like you're where you should have been. You're in the happy medium where it's like you're not experiencing all the success that you're going to ever experience all at one time right now in the present, but you are working toward it. You are getting where you want to go without like catapulting yourself extremely quickly and then losing your balance along the way because you didn't take your time along the way. You're about to start seeing a lot of signs that you are moving in the correct direction and that things are moving for your betterment, and it's because of these decisions that you've made. It's not stagnancy, it's just allowing things to catch up with you, allowing the fruit of the labor that you put in all the way up to this point, but that would have been for somebody that's probably like a year or so behind where you've gotten to, allowing that fruit of that labor to come in and catch up with you. You're entering a new era where like this new journey is going to be one very much of like the things that you desire and the wishes that you make are going to come true. You're going to have a lot of wish fulfillment happen, and you're going to have a lot of things that you've been like really craving and wanting over the past year come to you. It's just that you have got to leave this anxiety and this disbelief and this combativeness behind, because if you want this to come to you, you can't immediately start questioning it as if it's something from your past, because it's not. Even if it looks like something from your past, even if it is in the same skin and same face as something from your past, you've left that behind. You're not the same person anymore. So the same thing isn't going to happen. Like you're going to have a different outcome this time whenever things start coming to you, when these wishes start coming true, because you have finally learned the lessons that you've been skipping over this whole time. Because even though they were scary to face, they were necessary to face and necessary to learn. You finally learned them, so good job, but don't bring this anxiety into this next era, because you're only aligned with what is meant for you now. It seems like you are finally leaving behind like heartbreak over things that were not meant for you, because you're finally realizing like, why would I be heartbroken over this if it's not meant for me? If it's not meant for me, it's not meant for me. Because the things that are meant for you, they are meant for you, and they will come to you, and those are the things that will be in your life, and some may even come back around, but if they left, they were not meant for you. And it's that simple. So why hold on to something that is not meant for you? If they left, they left. Now, in true Mercury retrograde spirit, some things that did leave will be coming back around soon. And some of these things, it's so that you can tie up the loose ends and leave them behind. But some of it is also like so that you can move forward in a better way with it. Because now you're in a better place. Now you're in a place where you can lead with your emotions in a healthy way. You can lead with love, lead with peace, lead with patience, lead with trust, where before you weren't able to do that. And so that's going to make all the difference. You have a lot of big decisions coming your way, but there's a lot of abundance coming your way too. And it's going to require all of the lessons that you've learned up to this point to be enacted, not just ones out like made out of survival, but ones that have been made like throughout this whole process and throughout your whole journey. Ultimately, keep moving forward and with what feels aligned with you. Does it get you to your goal? Don't look for instant gratification. Don't look for instant richness and like tons of money coming in. And also don't look for like instant, immediate, like all-consuming love. Does it get you toward your goal? If the answer is yes, then go with it. Does it feel aligned with you? If the answer is yes, then go with it. That is all I have. If you'd like to book a one-on-one reading with me, you can go to my Etsy store, Mage Farms. Thanks so much. Have an awesome day.